Anderson is a 18-year employee of Wright State University, and I've worked in the library the entire time. It's funny because I mostly thought I didn't see myself doing this in the STAC, in the Student Technology Assistance Center, at all. I was more a librarian person, so I did reference. So I helped students look up articles and find books on the computer and where to locate books, and I've supervised students, but for the reference side. And then along came the STAC, and the STAC is a multimedia lab, strictly multimedia software in here. Things like Photoshop, website creation, Dreamweaver, we do Weebly. We assist students in Prezi and presentations, in graphics, flyers, blogs, anything. When you think of the word multimedia, it can be anything like that. Digital stories, that's my personal passion, is digital storytelling. But I didn't know anything about it, and I was, thinking that I would just kind of die in reference, grow old, and I was happy in reference because I like helping people one-on-one. So technology was never like the thing for me. I never thought this would ever be my future at Wright State. And one day, my boss, the STAC, moved over here from the ERC. It started in the ERC over 10 years ago, and it got too big. It started with like 2 computers, and it was a collaboration with the College School of Education and the library. And the thing I like about the STAC right now is that a lot of students go to the labs, and there's the same software down there a lot of times. They have a Mac lab for movies editing, and they have GarageBand down in the basement. But what they don't have are the kind of reference assistance model, which is I help you no matter where you're at and how long it takes to help you get it finished. And we'll still encourage you to use technology, because we kind of advocate for technology in the classroom, in your personal life, at home. We figure if we teach you to do it, you'll do it for life. I went to a digital storytelling workshop at Ohio State this summer, and it was a 3-day workshop, but it totally changed my life. Totally. It just totally did. So I did a story there about my sister who died early, and I did this whole story, and they helped me write the script, so I learned script writing. But then they also helped us put music to it, record our voices, and make our stories come alive. And so my story about my sister's on YouTube. Oh. So it's kind of neat to see something you contribute to the web. Contribute to the YouTube instead of just being a consumer. Add to it and make it a better, a richer. It's like you've done something. Probably about 5 years ago. Oh. And we get a lot of opportunities to learn new things, and we can go to workshops and conferences like I did this summer. That was my best conference, was this summer, because I got to make something. I didn't just go sit and listen. I got to be creative and learn how to hands-on do something, which I love that. So I'll try to do more of those things in the future. Education technology.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go back to school and get my master's in it, because I've taken some classes in it. But I have, ever since I started working in the STAC, it was just scary for me at first, because let's face it, I'm older, and it's it seems like a field. But I had Dr. Carlson. I've had some classes at Wright State in educational technology. Oh. So I even took an undergrad class just to get up to speed in using the Mac, because I knew I'd be on a Mac lab. I took some classes at Sinclair in Photoshop because I was having trouble with Photoshop, and I'd like to do more of that, but now I want to do more of that. In the beginning, it was just desperation. Now it's I want to help create. The schedule, if we have meetings or I have to go to a class, like next Wednesday I have to go to business classes and talk about Prezi and do a little, so that day will be a little bit different than like today. But my days consist of preparing for classes I need to go visit, that I've worked with a faculty member there, and subbing for students if I need to, giving lunch breaks at both places, the information desk and the stack, dinner breaks and things like that. There's troubleshooting to do on computers during the day. I also spend time helping students one-on-one. If any of the students in this building at night have a question at the information desk or out here, I have to go, or a problem. I'm working on PowerPoint for Alumni Association that we're trying to Photoshop the template. So that's like my day-to-day will be spent doing that kind of thing. But there's periodic things like we have to re-image all the computers sometimes. We have to, we're having 2 workshops. I have to make some flyers for those, things like that come up in the stack. We're doing a Prezi workshop and a Weebly workshop this semester. We're doing something for the Friends of the Library on GarageBand. So I have to get ready for that, get the information together, how we're going to present that. There's just a lot of things like that too, as well as the day-to-day operations of the stack. But as far as the day-to-day work, I would say when it comes to the hardware of the computers, like we got our first virus on the Mac, which was like, what? You don't get viruses on the Mac. And it was very strange, so we had to re-image it right away and, wipe it clean. And I was here by myself at night, but I had the directions and it worked and we did it. Patience and be willing to have people teach you things. Watching students create. We've had some students that have never done anything like this. First time they get a camera, and now they're working at WHIO doing TV work. Oh, and watching some of Maggie's students, some of students that have come back to school, never done anything. They don't have Facebook even, things like that. And just helping them enter those kind of worlds. And, helping them add pictures, helping them do websites, Weebly websites, helping them with anything. Online, we have an e-learning studio. Oh gosh, I wish the stack could grow. We always worry about funding, and just me. I guess the library's not worried, but I would love to see the stack bust through the walls and be on the other side of this glass and be the whole floor. You know what I mean? And have, but we also I want to see more students get over here and get the word, because people just don't even know we are here. I'm grateful to education technology classes. Yeah. Because they always find their way here. I'm grateful that the teachers recommend us. And, and I'm really grateful too when if a student has a problem over here, I want to know about that too, because then we can fix the problem. Like if something didn't work over here, I try to troubleshoot and contact the teacher and say, you know what, this didn't work. Like if they're doing Blackboard, if they're doing something we don't have the license for, I don't know. I just appreciate it when the teachers let us know there's a problem too. About the flipped classroom, I've heard about it. I know we're going to get a building with a lot of that model. The Student Success Center, I think, are going to have flipped classrooms more, and I know that a lot of teachers are doing that. I don't want to be that old lady that says, oh, I don't like change, I don't like it. I don't want to be like that. but I also feel annoyed right now, even from like, I get a phone call from my insurance company and I answer my phone and it's a machine. That's annoying. And then I'm on the phone for 15 minutes pushing buttons and they called me. You know, they called me.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing buttons to talk to a live human being. So there's that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want education to become like that. Just because it's easier, you lose that human contact. But I know for a lot of students, we did build the e-learning studio next door in this room over here because a lot of students don't have access to the technology that they need for their courses, their electronic courses, but they want to do it that way because of the time that it's offered or not offered, and they need to do it like that. So we've offered this room next door. So I think, you know, we'll only see like 1 or 2 people of a class of 50. So for 48 of them, it's working beautifully at home. I don't mind if you do it, but I just think you need a balance with it. There's some teachers on this campus that won't learn how to do anything. And I'm not on that side either. Like they just go up and lecture. There's never anything on visual happening, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not, and it's just because they haven't learned how to do it, or PowerPoint, and I don't know if I agree with that because I feel like you do have to, that's part of education is growing. Like just think if like Maggie had never learned how to do the stuff she's doing.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that I think will stay around. Weebly, Prezi, some of these free things that I think are really going to be solid replacements. And there's new ones coming, but we won't know unless we have these classes that you guys are taking and you bring it over to us and we can look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we caught the Weebly bug. Was from educational technology class, came over here and they were doing Weebly websites. And so we all got Weebly websites. That's who I am.